Hello and welcome. I am Tamara and I teach beginner sewing tutorials here on YouTube. And today is just going to be a fun, adorable project. Now, if you've made boxed corners in the past on my sewing channel, I teach you how to cut away a square. But for this particular little boxed corner, you're actually going to learn a different method. A few things that you need to know. I've got a little snap closure here. If you don't want to use a snap, you can always use Velcro. The most important thing about Velcro, however, is to make sure you're using Velcro that has a non-adhesive backing. So no sticky stuff. That sticky stuff will gum up your needle and drive you crazy. So if you're choosing to use Velcro, remember that. We also have an adorable little clasp here so you can attach your cute pouch onto whatever you wish. And if you open it up, just has a nice little fold there, and then you can throw whatever you wish inside. But the last thing that you need to know is that this project in particular is a fantastic scrap buster project, but do not use directional prints because the fabric that you see on the front goes around the bottom and up the back. So if you use a directional print, then one of these sides, your print is going to be upside down. And one more thing before we jump on into this tutorial, I have a question for you. Please let me know in the comments down below what project you are working on at this moment in time and how long you've been working on that project. I love hearing from you guys and hearing what types of sewing projects you're into. So please let me know. I'll definitely be reading those comments down below. Now, let's jump on in and get started. Cut one outer fabric and one lining fabric 12 inches high by 5 inches wide. Then you will cut 2 outer and 2 lining at 5¼ inches by 2 inches. Then you will cut one piece of fabric 5½ inches high by 4 inches wide. That piece will be your snap closure. Interfacing is optional, but if you are planning on using it, cut 2 small pieces at 4¾ high by 1½ wide, and then one larger piece at 11½ high by 4½ wide. Then you will need some sort of a hook. Now this particular hook just seemed a little bit too heavy, so I opted for this smaller hook here. I will link to a few different options in the description down below. And you will need some snaps. You can do nice metal snaps or you can do these plastic snaps. I use this set so often. I love it. These plastic snaps are so easy to install. Highly recommend. I will have those linked in the description as well. Start by prepping your snap closure. So that is the piece that you cut 5½ inches high by 4 inches wide. Fold both of the short ends in about 1/4 inch and just press them flat. Then, working along the long edge, you'll fold your piece completely in half to find the center. Then fold those outer edges in towards the center, pressing it all nice and flat. Clip all of those folded edges and move that to the side. Then grab your outer pieces of fabric and your interfacing, and following your interfacing's instructions, press your interfacing centered on the back of your outer pieces of fabric. Once you have secured all 3 pieces of the interfacing to the back sides of all 3 pieces of your outer fabric, then you can grab that little tab that you pressed earlier. You will take it to your sewing machine and with a little bit of a longer top stitch, so I like to use about a 3mm stitch length, sew around the entire outer edge, starting and stopping with a back stitch. And make sure to start on a long edge, not on a corner. If you start on a corner, your sewing machine will want to eat that fabric up. And that's what it will look like once it's done. Now it's time to attach our side pieces to our long centerpiece. You will do the same method for your lining as you will do for your outer fabric. If you've never done this method before, I recommend test running it on your lining, and then you can move to the outer fabric. Find the center of your long piece of fabric. As you can see, I'm just folding things and then then finger creasing it there. And then line up those center markings and pin those flaps right sides together in place. For doing the exact same thing to the outer fabric, there is one step we need to do first. Lay the snap closure piece of fabric 1 inch out from the outer edge and center it in place. So you should have around 2 inches on either side of the snap closure. And like I said, about 1 inch poking past that outer edge. Slide your snap hook onto this piece of fabric and then take it to your sewing machine and sew a 3mm stitch length, once again, top stitch, along that short end, and then 2 inches up from that short end. That will hold your snap hook in place. Then you can do the same thing that you did with your lining fabric to line up those side edges onto your main panel. So fold it in half to find that edge, just give it a little crease, and then fold those side pieces in half so that you know where their half edge is, and then line up all of those creases and clip in place with the fabric right sides together. Attach all of these flaps to the outer and the lining fabric. You need to sew this seam in a specific way. So you will sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but instead of starting at the edge of the panel, you're going to start a 1/4 inch in from that outer edge. And then you'll sew across and you will stop a 1/4 inch from the edge of the other side. So if it helps you to draw those marked lines, then do that. But it is very important that you don't sew across the entire panel. As you can see here, I can fold my little sides in a 1/4 inch on all of those edges because I did not sew across that entire panel. As always, a quick interruption to ask you to please hit that thumbs up button if you're finding this tutorial fun and useful. That lets YouTube know that this is a good tutorial, and then YouTube will share it with others. And of course, hit subscribe if you don't want to lose me here on YouTube. All right, let's carry on. Now grab a pair of pointy scissors and you are going to snip a 1/4 inch into your fabric. So at the edge of that seam, fold that flap in and you will snip towards the end of your seam, only a 1/4 inch. So you are snipping within the seam allowance, not past the seam allowance. And once you've added this tiny little snip to the bottom edge of all of those panel pieces, then you can start lining up the long edge of that little panel to the longer panel that it is sewn to. And then clip that in place. Take your time and clip all 4 of those long edges to create a nice boxed bag. Then you can lay it flat, take it to your sewing machine, and you will sew 1/4 inch seam allowances along all of those long edges. You will start at the top edge and go down towards that bottom seam, starting and stopping with a back stitch, but stopping a 1/4 inch from that bottom edge. So you'll see where the bottom seam is sewn and you will stop at that seam. So as you can see here, I've sewn 2 of those seams. It's created a nice little boxed corner. And if you look closely, you'll see that my seam stops a 1/4 inch from that bottom edge. It stops at that previous seam that you sewed. So my other 2 sides need to be sewn still. So I'm just going to show you that I fold it flat, and that makes it a lot easier to sew. Start a 1/4 inch from that bottom edge and then go to that top edge. Or if you're going to start from the top edge, that's fine. Sew all the way down, stopping a 1/4 inch from that bottom edge. So I really hope that that makes sense. And then moving on to the lining fabric, you will pretty much do the exact same thing except for one of the sides. So just take those sides, line them up along the long edge, clip them all in place. So 3 of those seams the exact same way that you did on the outer fabric. But that final seam, you actually need to leave between a 2 to 3 inch gap to be able to turn your project right side out. So all of these seams will be sewn at a 1/4 inch seam allowance once again, but that one edge you'll start on that bottom edge and you'll sew in 1 inch, stopping with a back stitch, and then you'll sew from that top edge down 1 inch, starting and stopping with a back stitch, leaving that tiny little opening. And this is how your lining will look once you've sewn all of those side seams. So you've got that one opening and the rest are all sewn shut. At this point, you can finger press all of those seams open if you want. I probably should have, but I didn't. And then move on to turning the outer lining right side out, gently pushing out those corners. Then you will tuck this outer pocket into the lining pocket, lining up the top edge. Start by lining the seams together and clipping those in place, and then you can clip around the rest of the edge. Once everything is nicely clipped in place, and of course that little tab is tucked out of the way so you don't end up sewing over your snap tab, then you will take this to your sewing machine and you will sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance around that entire top edge, starting and stopping with a back stitch. You have made it through all of the hard stuff and now it's on to the fun stuff. So reach on into that opening that is in your lining and turn your project right side out. Then along that open edge, just fold those raw edges in, clip along that edge, take it to your sewing machine and sew a seam across that edge, starting and stopping with a back stitch to close your lining shut. Then tuck your lining into the outer pocket and with your fingers just roll that top edge and then clip it in place so the top edge is exactly where you want it. Take it back to your sewing machine and this time we are going to sew a top stitch. So that's a little bit longer of a stitch length. I use 3 mm in stitch length. Start and stop with a back stitch and sew around that top edge the same way that we did sewing the lining and the outer edge in place. Then grab your snap kit, which once again, if you're interested in the snap kit that I have, is linked in the description down below. The snap kit came with an awl, which is just a very sharp, pointy, stabby tool. And you will take your awl and just poke a hole through only that snap flap. Once you've got the hole through there, exactly where you want your snap to be, then fold your project over, and I like to use a Sharpie for this. With my Sharpie, I just poke through the hole that we created on that flap, and that will leave a mark on the actual pouch where the other half of the snap will need to go. Then you can take your awl and poke a hole through that section as well. If you're interested in exactly how to add snaps, I have a whole tutorial for this that I will have linked in the description down below. Then fill your adorable small pouch up with the essentials and you are on your way. And of course, this would make an adorable gift. I hope that you enjoyed sewing this adorable little pouch, and if you did, I do think you are going to love next week's tutorial. Next week, I am going to teach you how to make this adorable little chapstick holder here, or if you're interested, you can add a zipper and make this chapstick holder here. So definitely come back next week to check out that tutorial and let me know in the comments what project you're working on. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Bye for now.